Is geopolitics over this vast expanse of water, or what's commonly called the Indo-Pacific, hotting up? New partnerships are being forged. It's been a rallying point for the West and the global South against Chinese bullying and expansionism. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni has met her Japanese counterpart Fumio Kishida in Tokyo and said her country will boost strategic collaboration with Japan and step up its presence in the Indo-Pacific region. That will mean more joint military exercises with F-35, ships and aircraft carriers as well. Other principal players in the region include China, the United States and the United Kingdom. Don't forget the AUKUS alliance that has Australia, Britain and America. But the dynamics of the region has undergone a sea change, though some factors remain as they were in the 1950s. Says former Indian Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale. So what has changed? First of all, the United States is no longer as dominant as it was. Second, China is much stronger and is capable of challenging the United States in its periphery. Third, India is much more influential than it was. Lastly, the British Empire has faded away entirely, so the situation is not identical. But one thing has persisted over these 70 years, Vijay Gokhale told StratNewsGlobal. The hotspots in the Asia-Pacific such as Korea, Taiwan and the South China Sea have remained constant. But the United States and China see each other as an existential problem as they did in the 1950s. Two major powers are on the path of confrontation, not conflict. But does America has the capability to police both the Indian and the Pacific Oceans?
The Indian and Pacific Oceans, and because its primary focus is the Pacific, since China is its principal adversary, it might tend to outsource or at least delegate some of the responsibility for managing Indian Ocean affairs to its allies. And the establishment of AUKUS is a body which I feel might take on that responsibility, and that might bring the United Kingdom back into the Indian Ocean.
That's where the problem lies for India. It's been a historical issue about conflicting positions of the US and the UK vis-a-vis China and how India was led up the garden path by the British Empire. In his latest book, Crosswinds, Gokhale writes that in the 1950s, the United States and the British Empire had very different interests in the Pacific and towards China. The US was interested in stopping communism. It had a geostrategic objective, but the British wanted to preserve their empire, which meant colonies and trading rights. And India was caught in between. So what should India do now?
We must talk directly with the Americans and we must talk directly with the Chinese. We must not let a third party, particularly Great Britain, come into that calculus.